Hare Namaste Naras.
Когда будете делать объявление, пожалуйста, скажите, чтобы те, кто хотит распространять книги, бесплатно мы им будем раздавать. И на английском можно?
Да. You like this camp? Modern facilities. A natural environment, trees. So, this is Navadwip. We're in Navadwip, and when we go out, we'll pass Jana Muni's ashram, and then we're going to go up to Mamagachi. Oh, that's in another island, Navadwip. So, we're going through the different islands. We'll see in Mamagachi, you'll see Saranga Muraris, Vasudev Datta. There are 3 sets of deities there on the altar. Very small temple, very small. You won't be able to do guitar there, but you go around the back and down yeah, Vasudev Datta. Behind Saranga Murari's place, there's another temple, Gaudiya. It's Vrindavan Das Thakur's birthplace. And we'll be there, and we'll have guitar there, and we'll have breakfast there. So, okay. So, not a very big Parikrama today. And there's some places like Kuntapur and Mahatpur, like Kuntapur, Mahatpur, Arkatila. Arkatila, we have a little piece of land there. Are we going to stop there? Yeah? We'll have to stop there? Arkatila? Okay. You hear about how worship the sun god, Arkatila. So it's not a very big place, but we can stop for some time there and have a little to talk, Arkatila. And it's not a long walk today, you're not walking so much as you did yesterday, or the day before. So we'll have more time for kirtan. You can take it slower and relish more of the holy name. Kavichandra Swami went back last night, he's coming back today. And also Sundar Chaitanya Maharaj will be coming today. He could not come yesterday. He had to give a class in Manipur. Oh, and we'll also be hearing from Bhakti Prachar Paribrajak Maharaj. He will come probably to Vrindavan Das Thakur's place where we have the guitar. Usually every year he comes at that place. He likes to be there. And he was in Mayapur for many years. Recently, a couple of years ago, he took sannyas. Now he's traveling around. But he'll come and address us. And we also, of course, we're very happy to have Mahavishnu Swami back with us. Been missing him for some time. So, book distribution results. Kavichandra Swami Maharaj, 35 books. Bhakta Mohit Prabhu, 40 books. Or 10 books. Nitish Kumar, 10 books. Jai Priya Yamuna Devi Dasi, 10 books. Bhakti Kishore Mataji, 10 books. Krishna Chaitanya Das, 10 books. Bhakta Mahadov Prabhu, 10 books. Ananda Joya Devi Dasi, 10 books. Bhakti Olena Mataji, 10 books. Ratsa Nitika Devi Dasi, 10 books. Bhakta Chintu Prabhu, 20 books. Vaishnava Priya Gauranga Das, 20 books. ISKCON Mandal 20 books. Anna Jagannath Das, 20 books. Bhakti Rohit, 20 books. Bhakta Lucas, 20. Anil Prabhu, 5 books. Anil, 50 books. Lucas, 50 books. Anil, 5 books. Precham Archamoti, 20 books. Bhakta Nirani, 15 books. Russian Internet Sankirtan Team, 1,100 books.
While they're walking, do 1,000.
You have to ask the Russians.
Спрашивают, как вы могли столько книг распространить?
Also 5,000, 8,800.
Every day, yes, more than 1,000. Yesterday, 1,080. 800, yeah.
Every day,
What you're
5 books.
walking,
Yeah, every day devotees buy books. Спрашивают, как вам удается это сделать?
Мы покупаем и раздаем
please, how do
бесплатно.
you do it? What you
Скажите,
walking?
мы
Yeah,
покупаем и раздаем
we buy and we distribute free. Yeah,
also.
also.
There's a lot of people. Yesterday, Vijayanagar, very pious people, you know. Everybody take a book. Vijayanagar. Nitai
Вчера был
Jaya,
Видянагар,
400
там
books.
очень вчера был Видянагар, там очень благочестивые люди, и они поэтому брали книги.
Vrinda Devi Dasi, 10 books. Ram Bhakti, 10 books. Sunita Naga, 10 books. Radha Priya Devi Dasi, 10 books. Ajay Seti, 10 books. Gauranga Das, 10 books. Diksha Khatri, 10 books. Damodar Das, 10 books. Kusum Lata Sharma, 10 books. Radhangi Devi Dasi, 20 books. Priya Singh, 10 books. Chaya Simha, 10 books. Total 1,949. Big books, 30 books. Chaitanya Charitamrita sets, 4 sets. Okay. Yeah, quite a few of us are copying. I'm also copying a little bit. We take some salt water, is very good. If you drink a little salt water and gargle. But if you do it a lot, if you gargle a lot, it helps for the throat. Warm water is also available. There's salty water with salt in it, and there's ordinary drinking water, both warm. Better to drink warm water rather than the cold water. In this weather, it'd be better for the throat. Okay, enough wisecracks. Tulsi Puja, right? Vrindaye Tulasi Devaye Priyaye Keshavashyata Vishnu Bhakti Pradide Satyavatyam Namaha Vrindai Tavasi Devai Priyai Kesavasya Vishnu Bhakti Pradadevi Satyavacya Namo Namaha Vrindai Tavasi Devai Priyai Kesavasya Vishnu Bhakti Pradadevi Satyavacya Namo Namaha Tulsi Maharani ki jai. Okay, Mataji. Priyai Kesavacya Vishnu Bhakti Pradadevi Satyavacya Namo Namaha. Thank you, Maharaj. So, this very holy place that connected with the pastimes of Vrindavan Das Thakur. So Vrindavan Das Thakur, of course, he is Srila Vyasadeva. In Krishna Leela, Vyasadeva describes the pastimes of Lord Krishna. And Vyasadeva came in Gaura Leela as Vrindavan Das Thakur. And he was born in a very special family of devotees. His mother was Narayani. Narayani was a very fortunate soul because she was able to she was the child in the family, in the home of Srivas Pandit. One of Srivas lived with his three brothers, the four brothers, they all lived together. So Srivas Pandit, he had the one niece there, was Narayani. And as a little girl, Lord Chaitanya had come to the home and he had fed remnants of his prasadam to Narayani. And at one time, it described in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, in Anjalila 20, chapter 20, verse 82. I'll just read the translation. Narayani eternally eats the remnants of the food of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur was born from her womb. So you can imagine how fortunate Narayani was that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu directly fed her. And at one point, Lord Chaitanya told Narayani, "Cry for Krishna, Narayani." And Narayani immediately began to cry in ecstasy of love of God. And she displayed all the symptoms of love of God, crying and crying. Although she was just a little girl, a little child, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu exhibited through her his transcendental potency. And she revealed love of God. So Narayani was the mother of Vrindavan Das Thakur. Vrindavan Das Thakur describes himself as the last disciple of Lord Nityananda Prabhu. We don't know if he was exactly, but he describes himself in that way, that he said that I am the last disciple of Lord Nityananda. And Vrindavan Das Thakur compiled this jewel of literature, Bengali literature, the Chaitanya Bhagavat. If you study Bengali literature, two books are very prominent in the study of Bengali literature. One is the Chaitanya Bhagavat and the other is the Chaitanya Charitamrita. They're very, very special literatures. The original manuscript of the Chaitanya Bhagavat can be seen if you go to the birthplace of Vrindavan Das Thakur. You can see, I've seen it. I went to the one place, I don't remember the name of the place, but they have the manuscript there on palm leaves, and you can see that how he wrote out this Chaitanya Bhagavat. And Krishnadas Kaviraj, who wrote Chaitanya Charitamrita, he always glorifies Vrindavan Das Thakur. He said that Vrindavan Das Thakur is the actual authorized presentation of Chaitanya Lila. All the pastimes of Chaitanya Lila are presented by Vrindavan Das Thakur. And Krishnadas Kaviraj said, I am just giving some remnants, some pieces which were not mentioned by Vrindavan Das Thakur. So Vrindavan Das Thakur, you can see up here on top of over the doorways there, these are some verses written from... Oh, you read them. Go hear it from the Bengalis. Chant.
The three shlokas are written here. Some more than three it is. Narayani Chaitanya Uchishta Bhajana Tahara Garbhe Jandino Sridasa Vrindavana Tahara Ki Adbhuto Chaitanya Charita Varnana Yahara Shravane Shuddha Koile Tribhuvana Ataiva Bhaja Loka Chaitanya Nityananda Kandibe Samsara Dukkha Pabe Premananda.
Thank you very much. So, I'll give you the translation. Narayani eternally eats the remnants of the food of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur was born of her womb. Purport. In text 43 of Gaura Ganadeshtapika, a book written by Kavi Karnapur that describes all the associates of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and who they previously were, there is the following statement regarding Narayani. Ambika Swasa Yasta Nakan Srila Kilimba Bika Krishna Chittam Prambunjana Seyam Narayani Mata. When Lord Krishna was a child, he was nursed by a woman named Ambika, who had a younger sister named Kilambika. During the time of Lord Chaitanya's incarnation, the same Kilambika used to eat the remnants of food left by Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That Kilambika was Narayani, who was a niece of Srivas Thakur. Later on, when she grew up and married, Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur was born from her womb. A devotee of Lord Krishna is celebrated in terms of devotional service rendered to the Lord. Thus we know Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur as the son of Narayani. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur notes in this connection there is no reference to his paternal ancestry because there is no need to understand it. The mother is such a great devotee, you don't need to worry about the father.
То есть для того, кто является матерью, надо заботиться о том, кто является ее отцом.
So the sannyasi staying here, you know, it's not easy to maintain temples in this kind of place. They don't get a lot of visitors, and sometimes also they get robbed. Sometimes you get some drug addicts or some dacoits, they come and they rob the temple. So we're asking devotees, you can give some contributions and help to maintain the temple. Maharaj is here from the temple. So if you can contribute something for the service of the temple. Okay, thank you. Now we're going to have drama. Jai Jayapataka Swami Maharaj ki. So we're very fortunate. We got 2 messages today. So here we are in Navadwip, which is the place of Dasyam. Right? There are 9 islands, 8 petals, 1 island in the center. In the center of the 8 petals is Navadwip. Navadwip's on the final day. Parikrama is meant to begin in Navadwip. But we haven't been to Navadwip yet. We will go to Navadwip before we go to Navadwip. Because 7 groups are going around, and they have to arrange for everyone. So it's a lot of organization. I think we have 7 camps, so it has to be arranged. Everyone can get a camp. So Navadwip is a place of hearing. And we began our parikrama in Navadwip. Navadwip was the place of kirtan. And who's doing the kirtan in Navadwip?
Nityananda.
But who comes when we're dying there in Navadwip? Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva comes and he chants the name. What name? Would you like that? At the time of death, somebody should come and chant the holy name of Gauranga in your ear? If we should be so fortunate, right? That's very nice. So Lord Shiva, because that place is Mahavarnasi. So Navadwip, Hari Harshetra was there, remember? So from Navadwip, then we went to Madhyamdwip. Madhyamdwip was the place of Smaranam, yes, remembering. And what did we see in Madhyamdwip? What places did we visit there in Madhyamdwip? Huh? Hamsavahan.
Panchavahan, they are saying.
Huh? They're saying
Panchavahan.
Panchavahan. Hamsavahan. Hamsavahan. Swan, yeah, the swan carrier. Okay, and then somewhere else?
Naimisharanya.
Naimisharanya, yes.
Brahmapur.
Brahmapur, Puskar, right? We told about Puskar. And then Divyadasa, the Brahmana, the old man, wanted to go to Puskar. And Puskar appeared and told him that that place over in Rajasthan, that is my expansion. Puskar is there in Mayapur, in Navadwip Dham. So you take bath here, 1 bath here is equal to 100 baths there. So that was Puskar and Madhyamdwip, and from Madhyamdwip, then we went to Koladwip, right? We crossed over the Sapan, over the Garanga Sapan, into Navadwip city. You know, in the time before Bhaktivinoda Thakur, people all were thinking that the birthplace of Lord Chaitanya is there in Navadwip. And there are some people even today, they claim that the birthplace of Lord Chaitanya is over there in Navadwip. So we went to Navadwip. Kola is what? Huh? Yeah, place of Padasevanam. But what does that word Kola mean? Lord Varaha, right? Lord Varaha. Lord Varaha appeared there in the Satya Yuga. There was a Brahmana worshipping Lord Varaha. Lord Varaha appeared there in the Satya. In every age, the Lord appears. Of course, he resides here eternally as Lord Gauranga, but he is not always manifest. But in every age, he manifests himself in different forms. Just like Lord Varaha appeared in the Satya Yuga. And then, who appears in the Treta Yuga? Lord Rama. We were hearing this morning. Where did Lord Rama come? Which island? Navadwip, right? He came in the Navadwip in the Treta Yuga. Lord Rama appears. And then, Dwapara Yuga. Does the Lord come in Dwapara Yuga? How does he come? As Lord Krishna, when we were seeing the drama of Samudra Sen. Remember? Maharaj Samudra Sen, he had his army of Gurukulis. Right? The Gurukuli boys were fighting Bhima and his army. And we saw that there was Samudra Sen's power. And because of Samudra Sen, Lord Krishna appeared there in the Dwapara Yuga. And in the Kali Yuga, does the Lord come in Kali Yuga? No. But the Lord is Treta Yuga, right? He only comes in 3 yugas. Does he come in the Kali Yuga? No. How does he come? He comes hidden form, yes, covered. He's concealed in the Kali Yuga, right? The discussion was there between Gopinathacharya and Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya could not accept Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as the incarnation of the Lord. No, I can't believe he's God. No, I don't believe it. But Gopinathacharya said, yes, he is. But Sarvabhauma said, no, Lord only comes in 3 yugas. He is 3 yuga, does not come in the Kali Yuga. And Gopinathacharya said, don't you know the philosophy? Sambhavami yuge yuge. The Lord says, I come in every age. So he does come, but in the Kali Yuga, he comes in a concealed form. So it's Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So the Lord is coming in every age. So Pada Sevanam. We are doing Pada Sevanam by doing Parikrama. This is Pada Sevanam. We're serving the lotus feet. We want to do this Parikrama in that consciousness that this is our service to the lotus feet of the Lord. Walking in the holy Dham. I offer my obeisances to all the devotees who are walking barefoot. I also used to walk barefoot for many years, but my feet in my old age, I'm not able to do it so much. I was doing it in Braja one year, and I got some infection in my foot, and I had to get some painful surgery to get the thing lanced. After that, I didn't walk barefoot anymore, My skin's too white. I burn very easily. I have to put sun cream. Jayapataka Swami used to put cream on me. When he was here, he would put some on. He would see me and he'd put some on me as well, because my skin is so white. I'm from a very white country, it's very cold. We don't get a lot of sun in the UK. Hardly we see the sun, so my skin is very white, easily burns. So anyway, still we walk walking barefoot is actually how we're meant to do the parikrama. And so for some I see many of you doing it. It's very wonderful, very good. I know it's not easy, especially the roads have become so bad. It used to be, even when I was doing the parikrama, the paths would be nice, right, Kavichandra Swami? Maharaj, remember, in the old days, the parikramas, the roads were good, right? Mud paths, soft earth.
Soft dust.
Soft earth. Very nice to walk, it was good. But nowadays, it's, they put gravel, and then on top of that, then they'll put some tar and things. And it wears your feet, it rubs the skin off your feet. Anyway, still it's a holy dham, we have to tolerate these difficulties. This is the austerity of parikrama. You get away from your home for a week. You leave aside your mobile phone and your email, and you just absorb yourself in the holy name and the holy places which we visit.
Who leaves aside their phone?
Yeah, leave aside.
Who leaves their phone?
Who leaves their phone? Well,
Raise your hand.
hopefully you've left your phone, and even it's so difficult to get Wi-Fi. There's no Wi-Fi, so forget that. So it's good. Get away from everything. No headaches, only foot ache. So Navadwip, right? The place of Lord Varaha, and we were in Devananda Pandit's ashram, and we heard about getting forgiven for offences there. Did you pray to Lord Chaitanya? Did you pray for forgiveness for your offences in Devananda Pandit's ashram? And we saw also Dhameshwar Mahaprabhu, we saw also the Bhajan Kutir with Jagannath Das Babaji, and there was also, what was that deity there, the Shiva Linga in Navadwip? Krodamayi.
Vritta Shiva.
Vritta Shiva.
Vritta Shiva and Prodamaya.
Vritta Shiva and Krodamaya in Navadwip.
Special names in Navadwip.
Yeah. So did you see those deities?
That's Yogamaya.
Yeah. They're in that marketplace under the big banyan tree there. And so that was Koladwip. And then from Koladwip we moved along. Koladwip we came to Jamadwip. We didn't actually stop anywhere or see anything. We used to. There was one place, but it was on the main road.
Ritudwip was first.
Oh, Ritudwip. Yeah, of course, Ritudwip. But okay, Ritudwip was there. Ritudwip, that was Champahati. And we heard about also we heard about who used to live there in Champahati? Jayadeva Goswami, right. Jayadeva Goswami was living there, and later on he moved to Jagannath Puri. But his place originally was there in Navadwip, so Jayadeva Goswami. Lord Chaitanya liked to hear the writings of three great devotees. Who did he hear from?
Chandidas.
Jayadev, Chandidas, and Vidyapati. Yeah, Vidyapati. He liked to hear their songs of separation. They were expressing the emotions of the gopis in separation from Krishna. So Lord Chaitanya would relish these writings in the association of his two intimate devotees, Swarup Damodar Goswami and Ramananda Rai. So the Champahati, we saw also the Gaur Gadadhar deity. Whose deities were they? Vidyavaninath. Who's Vidyavaninath? Younger brother of Gadadhar. Right. Why did he put Gadadhar there? Why didn't he put Gormitai? Why did he put Gadadhar?
Он не хотел, чтобы уходил.
Remember Vaishnav Maharaj was explaining yesterday how Lord Chaitanya was taking sannyas. He's going away. And Gadadhar is going to go with him too. Gadadhar was with him when he took sannyas, and after he took sannyas, he is going to Puri. Gadadhar followed him. Remember Mother Sachi pleaded with Gadadhar that you're taking such nice care of my son. You should always be with him. Please don't leave him. So Gadadhar and Gorsunda, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they're both leaving. Vijayvaninath is going to be on his own. He can't bear the separation from them. His dear brother and Lord Gauranga, they're both going to go away, and Vijayvaninath is left. So they put the deity before Gadadhar. And this way he can feel the presence of Lord Chaitanya and his brother. There was one reason why he installed Gaur Gadadhar. So then, that was Champahati, and then we went to Vijayanagar. Unforgettable, all the people coming out from the houses as we go along the road, so many families, you know. Usually in India, you never see women. You know, you go in the market, you go outside, very few ladies around, there's all men everywhere. But when you go on Parikrama, all you see is women. There's women everywhere, you know, because they come out from their houses. They're coming from their home. We're going through the villages. They're at home. The women are not working in the offices. The women are at home, Sri Dharma, bringing up their children, taking care of their family. And when we come through, they all come out and they greet us with their Udvani, and so nice. Japataka Swami Maharaj used to have us, he would have us compete. How many people can you get to chant the holy name? And so when you come through these villages, you know, like especially the school children, if you say to them, Sabbe Hare Krishna, every one of them will go, Haribo, Hare Krishna. You know, every one of them, it's so nice, you can get a lot of marks, you know. You get a lot of kripa. Give the holy name to people, get them to chant the holy name. As you're giving books, get them to chant the holy name also. Very important. And so we came to Vijayanagar and we heard about Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya and his brother. What was his brother's name? Vijayavachaspati. Yes. So they were living there. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also came there, and there was a huge gathering of people, all came to see him. Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had taken sannyas, and then after some time he came back there, and so everyone wanted to see him. And the whole Ganga was covered with boats. They were all crossing the Ganga, whatever they could get on. Banana trees, whatever things they could use to cross the Ganga. They were all coming over the Ganga. Everybody wanted to see Lord Gauranga. And of course they were hiding Lord Chaitanya. He didn't want a lot of attention. He was trying to hide. And they were, where is Gauranga? Where is Gauranga? And so when he did appear, then everyone called out. Everyone was so happy. Everyone rejoiced.
Boats were sinking because so many would get in.
Yeah, so many would get on the boats. The boats would sink.
That happened on one Parikrama, remember? At the Jalangi. So many devotees got in the boat, it sank. That happened one year. So many devotees were at the Jalangi going after Jagannath Temple, and so many devotees got in the boat, it just sank. That's what was happening there with Lord Chaitanya.
Another devotee told me also, I was telling about, we're going to the camp here, and I said, it's near the Ganga. When Prabhu told me, he said, was it last year? Somebody died. One Bengali devotee left the body at that place
last year.
just last year. So you have to be very careful with Mother Ganga. You know, when you go swimming, better you just go take a bath. Don't try to swim because it's quite dangerous. The current is very strong.
You have to protect them.
But you never know. Ganga's unpredictable. Sometimes somebody goes there, they want to commit suicide, and Ganga will throw them out. Ganga will reject them. And other people, they're just trying to put a little water on their head, they fall in and you never see them again. So you don't know what's going to happen with Mother Ganga. We're very cautious, so be very careful when you go there. Anyway, we came to Vijayanagar. Vijayanagar's in Ritudweep. All the seasons are there. The Ritu means the spring, right? The best of all seasons I am spring. So that is Ritudweep, very beautiful place. And our camp, you could see it's just near Ritudweep, green trees and everything, very nice. So Vijayanagar, and from Vijayanagar we moved on. Vijayanagar is in which island? Ritudweep. Ritudweep, the process is Archanam. Yeah, we used to have Janani Vas Prabhu come and give us, he talk to us about Archanam usually when we come to Vijayanagar. We haven't seen Janani Vas this year yet, but maybe he will come sometime. Janani Vas Prabhu, of course he lost his dear brother, Pankajangiri Prabhu. So he's not so active, but still he's active. He travels and is collecting for the TOVP. But Pankajangiri Prabhu departed during the COVID time. They were both very active in Parikrama, and they would often come and speak to the devotees. And we also, of course, lost not long ago Srila Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj, who used to also very much like to participate in Parikrama. And under his influence, he would bring many devotees from Delhi for the Parikrama every year. And he himself also liked to come and speak, especially at Nishringapali. He liked to speak there. And Samudragar. Samudragar. Right? Maharaj Samudra Sen, that pastime. So Gopal Krishna Maharaj is also departed from. But all of these devotees, they all would take part in Parikrama. Srila Tamal Krishna Goswami also used to take part in Parikrama. Govinda Maharaj and Shivaram Swami, they all used to come out on Parikrama.
And also Bhakti Charu Maharaj.
Oh yes, Srila Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj also. They always supported the Parikrama because it was very much the desire of Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur.
Bhakti Nityananda Maharaj is also.
Bhakti Nityananda Maharaj leading.
Nityananda Maharaj leading.
Nityananda Maharaj.
Huh?
Bhakti Nityananda Maharaj.
Oh, Bhakti Nityananda Maharaj, yeah. Bhakti Nityananda Maharaj would always, I was always with him on Parikrama. He used to always be with us on the international party. Because he was a local, he was brought up in Navadwip, and so he knew everything, he knew many pastimes, many wonderful details. He was a very wonderful devotee. His samadhi is at the Jagannath Mandir.
He was the organizer.
Yeah, he was one of the managers
He
for the.
organized Shantipur.
So anyway, Nitai Padakamala are still with us, and they will be with us eternally. Nitai Padakamala are the name of the deities, the Gornitai deities we're carrying. And they're very special deities. They were the original deities for the traveling Sankirtan here in Mayapur. At one point, the devotees had a boat, and they were going down the Ganga. Would you like that? Like to go on a boat up and down the Ganga?
And stop at the villages and do prasadam distribution and Harinam. So Nitai Parikrama, they were on the boat, the Ganga boat. Now they're, where do they stay? Where do they reside usually?
At the gate.
At the Bhajan, Prabhupada's Bhajan Kutir, at the gate, the main entrance in Mayapur. And so the Bhajan Kutir there, that's where Nitai Parikrama are usually based. But for the Parikrama, they come out, they're so merciful, they come out on the Parikrama and they're with us. And so we're very fortunate. If you get a chance also, do some seva for the deities.
Prabhupada personally installed them on the boat.
Yeah, Prabhupada personally installed the deities.
On the boat.
Prabhupada arranged the purchase of the deities from the people. So like that. Okay, so we were in Vijayanagar. Vijayanagar was Ritudvip, and then we came to
Janudvip.
Came back to Janudvip. We spoke about Janudvip. Janudvip was the place of Vandanam, offering prayers, right? We're offering prayers. When you walk barefoot, you pray even more. So of course, we're always praying. The devotees are always chanting Hare Krishna mantra. Kirtaniya Sada Hari. Always chant the holy name. So our lips are always decorated with prayers. In the Nectar of Devotion, Srila Prabhupada writes that a devotee whose lips are always decorated with prayers to Lord Krishna is always given respect by saintly persons, and such people are actually worshipable by the demigods. So if you're always praying and chanting Hare Krishna, that's very good. Of course, there's quality in prayers, right? What do we pray for? What to pray for? Praying. What are you praying for? Yeah, not everybody's praying for Prema Bhakti though.
For service.
We have a lot of other desires, right? People are praying, So one time this one man came to Prabhupada and he wanted to know what to pray for. He was actually from the gospel religion, Christian, and he was a gospel singer. He played the guitar and he sang gospel songs. He was a famous man. He had recordings of his singing. Anyway, he came to meet Srila Prabhupada and he was asking Prabhupada, Swamiji, I don't know what we should pray for. Because usually when people pray, especially if you're a Brahmana doing karmakandi pujas, people will come with so many things they want. Give me a nice wife and a home by the sea. Om Jai Jagadisha Hare. Right? This kind of thing, a lot of material desire. Well, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he has taught us, na danam, na janam, na sundarim. Right? We don't want these, we don't even want liberation. So what to pray for? Well, for Prabhupada, it was very clear what to pray for. That we simply pray, please engage me in your service. Please engage me in your service. That is the prayer of the devotee. And by chanting Hare Krishna mantra, that is the answer to the prayer. It's a prayer and it's also the answer to the prayers. Because by chanting, you're calling the holy name of Krishna, you're engaging in service. So the Maha Mantra is so transcendentally powerful. It's a prayer and it's the answer to the prayer also. So we came past Janudvip, Janudvip. It's a small island, we couldn't see much there. But then we came from into Modadrumadvip, and we saw the deities of Saranga Thakur. he was an old man, no disciples, and he got told. Mahaprabhu told him, you should take a disciple. So he said, okay, tomorrow. Like that. We say, yeah, you should do it. We'll say mañana in Spanish, right? In Spanish, they say mañana. It means tomorrow. And, tomorrow, every day, next day comes, mañana, Anyway, he told Lord Chaitanya, tomorrow. And so when he was taking his bath, he put his foot in and he touched that body. And the boy came to life. Apparently, he'd been bitten by a snake, and the family thought he was dead. So, usually they have the culture that a very young person, they won't burn the body. They may bury it. But in this particular case, they put the dead body on the banana tree. And the body was floating on the banana tree down the Ganga. So, sometimes it happens. I said, when you go to Ganga, if you see any dead bodies, you chant a mantra and see if they come back to life. So Saranga Thakur, it arranged that this boy came out of the coma and he accepted Saranga Thakur as his guru. And he stayed with Saranga, and because that place where we were at Mamagachi, it was like a jungle. Saranga Thakur had his little temple, and it was just a jungle, and there were tigers everywhere. This is Bengal, right? It's the land of tigers, Bengali tigers. Have you seen any tigers?
Royal Bengal tiger.
Huh?
Royal Bengal tiger.
Royal Bengal tigers. We were at Bhaktivinoda Thakur's place, and Lalit Prasad, the youngest son of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, when the devotees went to see him, they asked him, do people ever come here? He said, well, Tiger came. Tiger came, so he took some of the rice from the bag, ate some rice and left. So, like that, these places, there's a lot of, not so many tigers around nowadays, but sometimes you may see something. If you go like areas like Ahovalam, we've got some tigers in the forests there, the mountainous regions, mountain tigers. There's too many people around. The tigers don't want to be bothered with all the people.
Yeah, what's the forest?
The forest?
There's one place with small tigers.
Small tigers?
No, it's a forest in Bengal. The majority of the tigers in the world are there. Sundarban.
No, Sundarbans. Sundarbans, okay, you have to go to the south, where the Ganga flows into the sea, Ganga Sagar, like that, that's Sundarbans. So Maharaj said, tigers are there.
Now they've been preserving tigers, so they have many more now.
Okay. So, we have a temple there, Ganga Sagar. If you go there, very nice. Every year there's a big mela in the month of Magh. The devotees go there, distribute books. Of course, this year was Kumbh Mela, so a lot of devotees were all at Kumbh Mela. But Ganga Sagar Mela also is very big. A lot of people. Huh?
Every year.
Yeah, every year Ganga Sagar.
How much prasadam is distributed?
Yes.
How many people?
You can go and visit, see the nice temple there. They build a temple that's not open yet, is it? Ganga Sagar?
No, not yet open. No, new temple is not yet. Not yet.
Not yet open, still building, yeah. Yeah.
But they do huge prasadam.
Okay, so like that, we came to, where are we? Navadwip. Saranga Thakur, yeah, we were talking about the people in Navadwip. So Saranga Thakur got Saranga's Murari. Murari is the disciple of Saranga Thakur. So Murari, because he'd already dead, he'd already died one time, so he wasn't afraid of death. And so he would play with the tigers and even ride on a tiger. He was so powerful. Tigers can be quite big, you know. You can ride on them.
He would go underwater for a few days.
Yeah, we heard they could go underwater and do these kind of things. So like, who else could go underwater? Sobari. Remember Sobari Muni? He was underwater. Was he safe underwater?
No.
No, he got problems even under the water, right? So, anyway, so Sarangas Murari, he was here and he was preaching.
Vasudev Dutt.
And then Vasudev Dutt. Vasudev Datta, very important. How much concern he was for other people. Right? Who was like Vasudev Dutt? Prahlad. Also, Srimad Bhagavatam describes Ranti Dev. Ranti Dev was another person. He said, let me suffer for others. He said, I will accept whatever suffering the others. I just want them. They should not suffer. This was the mood of Ranti Dev. In the 9th canto Srimad Bhagavatam, we can read about Ranti Dev. He was such a pious king. He was fasting, and his whole family would fast. All the family would fast with him. For 48 days, they were fasting. And then finally, they got a meal. They were all going to break fast. And then a Brahmana came. Immediately, Rantidev invited the Brahmana, come, take food. The Brahmana took half the meal away. After the Brahmana left, then a Sudra came. Rantidev again invites, take some food, take something. And after the Sudra had gone, then a Chandala came with some dogs. There was only some water. He gave the water, let them take it, let them have it. They were there, they're practically dying from hunger and thirst. But Rantidev said, I do not aspire for any of the 8 Siddha mystic yoga perfections. I do not aspire for a position in the heavenly planets. I just simply want to be with the other people and relieve them of their suffering. So that was the mood of Rantidev. And so he was like that, just like Prahlad Maharaj and like Vasudev Datta. That let me take the sins of all the people and I will stay here and suffer. Let them all be liberated. And did it happen? Did they all get liberated?
Yes.
Yes, by the desire of? By the desire of Vasudev Datta.
Did he suffer?
Did Vasudev Datta have to suffer?
No.
There were 3 examples given. There were 3 examples given about Lord Chaitanya was speaking to Vasudeva. Gave 3. One was the mustard seed. If you lose 1 mustard seed from a bag of mustard seeds, is it a big loss? No, 1 mustard seed. You know, you have so many. And then another example. There was, what kind of fruit was it? Special fruit. There are many fruits. Huh? Urumgar. Yeah, urumgar. I don't know the fruit, but
And there's millions of fruits on the tree.
Yeah, millions of fruits. There's many fruits on the tree. So if you lose 1 fruit, there's so many other fruits on the tree. It's not a big loss. And one more example. If you have a herd of Kamadhenu cows and you lose 1 billy goat, are you going to worry about the billy goat? You have a whole big herd of Kamadhenu cows. Who's going to care about 1 billy goat?
Goat.
So Lord Chaitanya gave 3 examples to compare. Is it in the same way? Is it to liberate everyone from 1 planet? The desire of Vasudeva Datta was to liberate all the living entities. It was already granted by Lord Chaitanya, by his inconceivable mercy. They were all delivered. So, not a big thing for Lord Chaitanya. One mustard seed, one billy goat to deliver the whole planet. There's so many planets in the material world. There's so many universes. There's so many planets. There's so many living entities. To deliver one planet, not a big task for Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So because of the desire of Vasudeva Datta, they were all delivered. So this was Vasudeva Datta. Then we came and we heard about Vrindavan Das Thakur. He was the son of Narayani. And Narayani is the niece of Srivas Pandit. So she had seen the pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as a little child. Not only did she see the pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but Mahaprabhu fed her his remnants. He fed the remnants, and it said Narayani is eternally eating the remnants of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So she became the mother of Vrindavan. Her son went on to become the Vyas of Chaitanya Leela, to describe all the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in beautiful poetry. And Bengali people, they will sing the Chaitanya Bhagavat. They can sing it. It's all beautiful poetry, you know. If you're not, like, I'm not Bengali, I cannot understand it. I have to read translations. But the Bengali people, they can relish the original script in Bengali poetry. Srila Prabhupada wrote Chaitanya Charitamrita because that's more philosophical. And it also describes more the later pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But both books are important. And Prabhupada encouraged the devotees to read these books and know everything about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So we're coming up to Arkatila. Here is this, over here, this is Arkatila. And this is, who's going to tell us about Arkatila? Huh? Bhakti Nrsimha Maharaj.
No, you don't know. You don't know.
No? Who knows about Arkatila? I'm not, I hardly go to Vrindavan. Kavi Chandra Maharaj.
I don't know so much.
No, you said I know everything.
It's Surya Kund.
Devotees are telling me that there's a yagya they do in Jharkhand, in Bihar. And the ladies go they'll do the yagya for 3 days. Fasting, nirjal, for 3 days. And they'll do it for the benefit of their husband and their children. And they'll worship Surya. Chat Puja. So even today it's a very big festival, right? Many people do it. Huh? Are you doing Chat Puja? Want to do it? 3 days, Nirjal. Hare Krishna. Not easy, eh? Okay, so anyway, we don't have to do these things, we just have to chant Hare Krishna. Our process, Prabhupada always said, our process is very easy, you know, but still we can't do it.
Simple.
Still have difficulty to chant 16 rounds. So we have to become more serious, focus, and try to chant nicely, get the mercy. Okay, so we're going. Go
Destination.
Go to our camp, huh?
Pratap Nagar.
Pratap Nagar.
Again, we are entering into Koladri.
Oh, we're going back to Koladwip. So, Pada Sevanam.
Там кто-то еще сидит, ладно, нравится, кто-то придет. Еще так поставить. Ну, в принципе, вот так вот. Вот так вот все уже. Руслан Прабу, по идее, поставить бы на стул. Вот, ну ставлю, но вам немножко криво получается. Так бы было прямо, вот если вот так поставить на стульчик. Я бы ее подняла, но хотя она, не знаю. А вон там сзади стул, может, они принесут. Ага. Давайте вот так вот подержим, чтобы не...
Смущать будет.
Да?
Krishna Kirtana Gananatana Para
Попробуем.
Tattama Samstapako Dhira Dhira Jana Priyo Priyakaro Nirnatsuro Pujito Shri Chaitanya Kripa Bhura Bhuli Bhuro Bhadavaham Karako Vande Rupa Sanatana Ragujako Shri Jiva Gopalako Nana Shastra Vicharinai Kanpano Sattama Samstapako Lokanam Hitakarino Tribhuvane Manyo Charanyakaro Radha Krishna Padhara Vrinda Bhatana Nantina Mataliko Bande Rupa Sanatano Rakujako Sri Vakopalako Sri Gauranga Gunanavananavito Radha Samridhyandito Papotapani Kintano Kanapritam Govinda Ganamritai Anandan Buddhivardhanai Kanapano Kaivalya Nistarako Bande Rupa Sanatana Rakujako Sri Jiva Gopalako Tadvatu Namashesha Mandalapati Prenim Sadatu Javat Buddhadina Ganesha Ko Karunaya Kopina Kanta Srito Gopi Bhavara Samrata Dhalari Kalo Lamakno Maho Bandirupa Sanatana Rakujako Sri Vakopalako Pujat Kokilaham Sarasanaya Kere Mayora Tule
Nanaratna Nibadhamula Vitapa Shri Yukta Vrindavane Radha Krishna Mahanisham Prabhajato Jivatato Yomudha Bande Rupa Sanatano Radhujato Shri Tiva Gopalako Sankhya Purvaka Namagananatiti Kalo Vasani Krito Nidrahara Vihara Kadi Vichito Chaitanya Dhinotayo Radha Krishna Gunasmritar Madhurima Nandina Samohito Bande Rupa Sanatana Rakutago Sri Gopalako Hey Radha Kunda Tate Kalindi Kanaya Tere Tavanti Kate Premanada Sadhase Shadasaya Grasto Pramato Tadha Jayanto Chakadahare Gunavaram Bhava Vibhuto Mudha Bande Rupa Sanatana Rakujago Shiva Gopalako He Radhe Brajate Vike Talavite He Nanda Suno Putra Shri Govardhana Papada Patale Chalindhi Vane Kuta Gosantha Visarvato Bhajapure Kejer Mahavivalo Bande Rupa Sanatana Rakujago Shri Jiva Gopalako Bande Rupa Sanatana Rakujago Shri Jiva Gopalako. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chaksuram Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Panchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhayevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasade Gaur Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Alright, here's the question. As in material work, we want to finish the task. So this tendency remains also in spiritual life. We want to finish our chanting and finish our reading, but we don't relish. How can we avoid this?
हरे कृष्ण। तो भक्त का प्रश्न है कि जैसे भौतिक जगत में हम हर एक चीज को जल्दी से खत्म करना चाहते हैं, उसी तरह से हमारा इच्छा होता है कि चैंटिंग और रीडिंग जैसी चीजों को भी जल्द से जल्द फिनिश हो जाए हमारा, तो हम इससे कैसे बच सकते हैं?
Well, you can never finish chanting and reading. There's always more chanting and reading to be done.
हम कभी भी अपना जप और रीडिंग फिनिश नहीं कर सकते, हमेशा इसको और करने की जरूरत है।
So it's actually wrong to think that I've finished my chanting or I've finished my reading.
तो ये ऐसा सोचना गलत है कि मैं अपना जप खत्म कर लूं या रीडिंग खत्म कर लूं।
How can we relish our chanting and reading more? By doing more reading and chanting.
तो चैंटिंग और रीडिंग में अपना रुचि और कैसे बढ़ा सकते हैं? और ज्यादा चैंटिंग और रीडिंग करके।
We have to we have to read. We have to read with more attention and with more purpose. It's a good idea to read with other devotees, and then not just reading, but discussing and explaining something.
तो महाराज बता रहे कि हमें रीडिंग जो है और ज्यादा ध्यान पूर्वक और भी लक्ष्य के साथ करना चाहिए। हमें अच्छा होगा कि हम अगर भक्तों के साथ में मिलकर पढ़ेंगे और उस पर चर्चा भी करेंगे।
Prabhupada explains like that in one purport. He said more important than reading is discussing together and explaining to each other.
श्रील प्रभुपाद जी बताते हैं कि केवल पढ़ने से ज्यादा अच्छा है उसको आपस में चर्चा करना और एक दूसरे को समझाना।
And finishing our chanting, we should understand we've always got more chanting to do. Chanting is something which should go on continuously.
और जो जप को जल्दी खत्म करने की बात है, तो हमें समझना होगा कि हमारा जप तो है हमेशा चलते रहना चाहिए।
Lord Chaitanya says Kirtaniya Sadahari, always chant the holy name.
चैतन्य महाप्रभु कहते हैं कीर्तनिया सदाहरि, हमेशा भगवान के दिव्य नामों का जप करना चाहिए।
So we want to chant with the purpose that we're chanting for Krishna. We want to attract Krishna by our chanting.
तो हम जब जप करते हैं उसका लक्ष्य होना चाहिए कि हम भगवान को प्रसन्न करें, उनको आकर्षित करें।
It's not that we're just chanting out of duty. Oh, I promised I would chant 16 rounds, so I better do it. And you do it mechanically, and you think, now, okay, now I finished my 16 rounds. So that kind of mechanical thinking, that is not very good.
तो महाराज बता रहे कि एक मैकेनिकल तरह से चैंटिंग करना कि मैंने 16 माला करने का प्रॉमिस किया है तो मेरे को करना पड़ेगा और मैं उसको खत्म करता हूँ, ये कोई बहुत अच्छा विचार नहीं है।
Yeah, rather we have to understand, we do these different activities like chanting and reading, studying. We're doing it for Krishna. We want to develop our relationship with Krishna.
तो चैंटिंग रीडिंग जैसी ये सारी भक्तिमय सेवा हम भगवान की प्रसन्नता के लिए करते हैं, हम अपना भगवान से संबंध स्थापित करना चाहते हैं।
So we want to feel more that mood that we're trying to cultivate our relationship with Lord Krishna.
तो हमें ज्यादा से ज्यादा इस पर विचार करना चाहिए कि हम भगवान से इन एक्टिविटीज के द्वारा अपना संबंध कैसे बना रहे हैं।
Don't just think, oh, I have to do it, it's my duty, I better do it. But think, I want to do this for Krishna, I want to come closer to Krishna, I want to know Krishna.
तो केवल एक ड्यूटी समझकर उसको नहीं करना चाहिए कि मुझे खत्म करना है तो करना ही पड़ेगा, कर लेते हैं। हम भगवान से और ज्यादा नजदीक होना चाहते हैं, भगवान से संबंध बनाना चाहते हैं।
So we want to develop that kind of consciousness that trying to please Krishna.
तो हमें ऐसी चेतना को कल्टीवेट करना है कि हम भगवान की प्रसन्नता के लिए करें।
The attitude is very important. We heard last night that everything depends on our attitude.
तो कल शाम को हमने सुना था कि एटीट्यूड बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, हर चीज हमारे एटीट्यूड पर निर्भर करता है।
So our attitude should be, I'm doing this for Krishna, to please Krishna, to come nearer to Krishna.
तो हमारा एटीट्यूड होना चाहिए कि मैं भगवान की प्रसन्नता के लिए ये कर रहा हूँ और भगवान के नजदीक आने के लिए ये प्रयास कर रहा हूँ.
Okay, we'll go ahead. We're up to number 20 now. We've got something like 89 questions, you know. So we're not short of questions. This question says, how we have to increase our sincerity in bhakti every time. Sometimes I feel, but most of the time I am not sincere in bhakti. Right? I'll read it again. How can we increase our sincerity in bhakti? Because sometimes I feel sincere, but most of the time I'm not sincere in bhakti.
तो भक्त का प्रश्न है कि भक्ति में अपने सिंसियरिटी मैं कैसे बढ़ा सकता हूँ, और ज्यादातर मुझे लगता है कि मैं सिंसियर नहीं हूँ, कभी कभी लगता है कि थोड़ा सिंसियरिटी है.
Well, yes, sincerity it's important that we want to be genuine in our efforts to cultivate devotion to Krishna.
सिंसियरिटी बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है और हम भगवान से के प्रति अपना संबंध स्थापित करने के लिए जेन्युइन एफर्ट्स करना चाहते हैं.
So association again is very important. It's a crucial factor that if you associate with devotees who are sincere, then you will also cultivate sincerity.
तो इसमें भक्तों के संग का बहुत महत्व है. अगर हम ऐसे भक्तों का संग करते हैं जो सिंसियर हैं, तो हम भी सिंसियर होंगे.
Now, you say most of the time I'm not sincere, but somehow you're still here in Krishna consciousness, you're still in the association of devotees, so you have some sincerity which keeps you here in the connection to the Krishna consciousness movement.
तो आपने बताया है कि आप ज्यादातर समय सिंसियर नहीं रह पाते, लेकिन आप यहाँ पर हैं, अभी भी भक्तों के साथ लगे हुए हैं. इसका मतलब है कि आपके अंदर कुछ सिंसियरिटी तो है.
So that's important. If you have that good association, then you should feel inspired by the people you're with. You want to associate with people who are more advanced, who are better than you are in devotion.
तो अगर आप ऐसे भक्तों का संग करेंगे जो आपसे और ज्यादा एडवांस हैं, तो उससे आपका भी सिंसियरिटी बढ़ेगा.
Just like, when I was studying at college, I remember they used to say that if you associate with the good students, then it will help you also to be a better student.
जैसे कि जब मैं कॉलेज में पढ़ता था, तो वो बोलते थे कि अगर आप अच्छे बच्चों के साथ रहोगे तो आप भी अच्छे बच्चे बनोगे.
If you associate with people who do all the tutorials and who write up all the lab reports and everything, then you go along, you'll also do your tutorials and lab reports, and you can benefit from being with them. Like maybe you can't do the tutorial, but somebody who's a good student, he can do it, and you learn from him.
तो उसी तरह से जैसे कि अगर आपके दोस्त ऐसे हैं जो ट्यूटोरियल्स करते हैं, लैब के सारे काम पूरा करते हैं, तो आपका भी ज्यादा चांस है कि आप भी वैसे बनेंगे. और अगर आपको करना नहीं आता तो आप उनसे सीख लोगे.
So devotional services like that, you want to find out those devotees who are a bit more advanced than we are and try to hold on, get close to them and associate with them.
तो भक्ति का यही विधि है कि हम अपने से ज्यादा एडवांस डिवोटी को ढूंढें और उनका संग करें और उस संग में बने रहें.
Be eager to be with them and to hear from them.
और उनका संग पाने के लिए हम उत्साहित रहें और उनसे श्रवण करने के लिए भी.
And that good association that will help you also to advance in Krishna consciousness.
और वो अच्छा एसोसिएशन आपको मदद करेगा भक्ति में आगे बढ़ने के लिए.
And this continues to the next question, because the next question asks how to increase our interest in chanting, reading, and devotional services.
तो ये अगला प्रश्न भी इसी के साथ में ही है कि चैंटिंग, रीडिंग और भक्तिमय सेवा में अपना इंटरेस्ट कैसे बढ़ाया जा सकता है.
And so again, if you make friends with people who are doing these things, then you will also take an interest in these things.
तो इसमें भी वही है कि अगर आप ऐसे भक्तों का संग करेंगे जो इन चीजों में इंटरेस्ट रखते हैं, तो फिर आप भी वैसे ही बनेंगे.
Of course, you have to have an interest. You have to have a desire to want to do these things.
ये बात तो है कि आपके अंदर भी इच्छा होना चाहिए ये सब करने का.
So the question is asking how to increase my interest in these things.
तो प्रश्न ये पूछें कि इसमें कैसे इंटरेस्ट और बढ़ाया जा सकता है.
So he has some interest. He wants to have more interest.
तो आपके पास कुछ इंटरेस्ट है, आप और ज्यादा इंटरेस्ट बनाना चाहते हो.
So it's the same principle. You got to find out people who do better chanting and who read more and who do more devotional service than you and try and associate with them.
तो इसका भी वही उत्तर है कि ऐसे भक्तों का संग करें जो बहुत अच्छा जप करते हैं, ज्यादा अच्छे से पढ़ते हैं शास्त्रों को और भक्ति में सेवा में और अच्छे से लगते हैं. तो ऐसे भक्तों का और अच्छे से संग करना होगा.
Okay, we'll go ahead. What should be our mood while doing any service and how to maintain consciousness?
कोई भी सेवा करते हुए हमारा मूड क्या होना चाहिए और हम सेवा की चेतना कैसे बनाएं?
Well, yeah, how to maintain consciousness, right? First you have to be conscious and then you have to be Krishna conscious.
तो पहले आपको चेतन होना होगा और फिर आप कृष्ण भावना भावित हो पाएंगे.
So you don't want to just maintain consciousness. All living entities are conscious.
सारे जीव जो है वो चेतन ही हैं.
But what we're interested in is Krishna consciousness.
हम जिसमें इच्छुक हैं वो है कृष्ण भावना में.
So how can we maintain our Krishna consciousness?
तो हम अपनी कृष्ण भावना को कैसे बना के रखें?
And we don't want to just maintain it. We want to expand it and improve it.
और हम केवल उसको बस बनाए नहीं रखना चाहते हैं, हम उसको और बढ़ाना चाहते हैं और अच्छा करना चाहते हैं.
Sometimes they give the example that the arrow, if you fire an arrow, it has to be going forward. If it's not going forward, it will just go down.
कई बार वो एक एरो का, तीर का उदाहरण देते हैं कि अगर आपने एक तीर चलाया है तो वो तीर सीधा आगे बढ़ते जाना चाहिए, अगर वो रुक जाएगा तो नीचे गिर जाएगा.
So we don't want to just maintain consciousness. We want to develop our consciousness, increase our consciousness.
तो हम अपनी चेतना को एक ही स्तर पर बनाए नहीं रखना चाहते, हम उसको और बढ़ाना चाहते हैं और अच्छा करना चाहते हैं.
And when I talk about consciousness, I'm meaning Krishna consciousness.
और जब मैं यहाँ चेतना की बात कर रहा हूँ तो मतलब कृष्ण भावना की बात कर रहा हूँ.
And what should be our mood in doing service? Our mood should be, I'm doing this for Krishna.
और जब हम सेवा कर रहे हैं तो हमारा क्या मूड होना चाहिए? ये होना चाहिए कि हम भगवान की सेवा कर रहे हैं.
I'm very fortunate. I've been given an opportunity to do some service for Krishna.
मैं बहुत सौभाग्यशाली हूँ, मुझे भगवान की सेवा करने का कुछ मौका मिला है.
So that kind of mood is important, that we're working for the pleasure of Krishna. And we want to do it with love, with enthusiasm.
तो ये चेतना कि मैं भगवान की प्रसन्नता के लिए कर रहा हूँ, ये बहुत अच्छा है और इसे हम प्रेम के साथ और उत्साह के साथ करना चाहते हैं.
We should be thinking, I'm very fortunate to be given some service for Krishna.
और हमें ये सोचना चाहिए कि मैं बहुत सौभाग्यशाली हूँ कि मुझे कुछ सेवा दिया गया है भगवान को करने के लिए.
After many lifetimes in the material world, so I've been given this opportunity to do some service for the Supreme Lord Krishna.
इस भौतिक जगत में अनेक जन्मों के बाद इस जन्म में मुझे अब ये मौका मिला है कि मैं भगवान की कुछ सेवा करूं।
Everyone's doing service, but they're serving so many other people.
सब कोई ना कोई सेवा कर रहा है, लेकिन वो दूसरों की सेवा कर रहे हैं।
The mother serving her child or her husband.
जो माता है वो अपने बच्चे की सेवा कर रही है या फिर अपने पति की सेवा करती हैं।
The husband serving his company or serving his country.
और जो हस्बैंड है वो अपनी कंपनी या फिर अपने देश का सेवा कर रहा है।
The politicians are supposed to be serving their country.
और जो पॉलिटिशियंस हैं वो भी ऐसा है कि वो देश की सेवा करते हैं।
Some people are serving their dog and their cat.
कुछ लोग अपने कुत्ते और बिल्ली की सेवा करते हैं।
Everyone's engaged in service. That's the nature of the soul.
हर कोई व्यक्ति कुछ ना कुछ सेवा कर रहा है क्योंकि ये आत्मा का स्वरूप है।
Dharma means engaging in service. Our dharma is to be engaged in service.
तो धर्म है मतलब कि सेवा में नियुक्त होना।
But that service becomes perfect when it's directed towards Krishna.
लेकिन वो सेवा तब परफेक्ट होता है जब वो भगवान के लिए किया जाता है।
So we should think how fortunate I've been that after many lifetimes in the material world, somehow now I've been given this opportunity to do service for Krishna.
तो हमें ये समझना चाहिए कि कई जन्मों के बाद हमें ये मौका मिला है सेवा करने का और हमें अपना पूर्ण सौभाग्य समझना चाहिए।
So we should value, we should treasure this opportunity.
और हमें इस मौके का पूरा लाभ उठाना चाहिए।
And if you're not in Krishna consciousness, then still you'll be doing service. You'll be forced to serve the senses.
और अगर आप कृष्ण भावनामृत में नहीं हैं, तो भी आपको सेवा करने की मजबूरी है। आप अपने इंद्रियों की सेवा करेंगे।
Serve our mind.
अपने मन की सेवा करेंगे।
And the mind can be the enemy when it's not directing us to Krishna's service.
और हमारा मन हमारा शत्रु हो सकता है अगर वो हमें भगवान की सेवा करने के लिए प्रेरणा नहीं देता।
So we want to understand very carefully our good fortune in having the opportunity to do service for Krishna.
तो हमें बहुत ध्यानपूर्वक बहुत अच्छे से समझना होगा हमारा कितना बड़ा सौभाग्य है कि हमें भगवान की सेवा करने का मौका मिल रहा है।
Okay, next question. How does Lord Krishna reciprocate with neophyte devotees?
भगवान कृष्ण जो नए भक्त हैं उनके साथ किस तरह से आदान प्रदान करते हैं?
Well, it will depend on the devotee and his situation.
ये उस भक्त और उसकी स्थिति पर निर्भर करता है।
For some people, he may take away everything from them to help them become Krishna conscious.
कुछ लोगों के लिए भगवान उनसे सब कुछ छीन सकते हैं उन्हें कृष्ण भावना में आगे बढ़ाने के लिए।
Lord Krishna says, when I am very merciful to someone, then I take away all of their attachments, and then in that helpless condition, then they surrender to me.
भगवान कृष्ण कहते हैं कि जब मैं किसी के ऊपर बहुत दया करता हूँ तो उसके सारा जो उसका अटैचमेंट है वो मैं छीन लेता हूँ और उस स्थिति में हेल्पलेस स्थिति में वो फिर मेरे प्रति और शरणागत होते हैं।
And sometimes Lord Krishna may give things to a devotee to help them to come closer to Krishna consciousness.
और कई बार भगवान उस भक्त को बहुत कुछ दे सकते हैं उसको कृष्ण भावनामृत में आगे बढ़ने के लिए।
They may see, oh, these devotees, they're having a nice life, they're living in a nice building, and they're eating nice food, and they're happy.
तो वो हो सकता है कोई देखकर आकर्षित हो कि इन भक्तों के पास अच्छी बिल्डिंग में रहते हैं, अच्छा इनका जीवन है, अच्छा इनको प्रसाद मिलता है, वो देखकर आकर्षित हो जाएं।
So Krishna may inspire that person from the heart that they should also take up Krishna consciousness.
और भगवान उनको हृदय में ये इंस्पिरेशन दे सकते हैं कि वो भी कृष्ण भक्ति को अपना लें।
In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna describes 4 kinds of people who come to Krishna consciousness.
भगवद गीता में 4 प्रकार के लोगों का वर्णन है जो कि कृष्ण भक्ति में आते हैं।
Chaturveda bhajantimam jnana sukritino arjuna arto jignasur artarti jnanicha bharatarshava. 4 kinds of reasons why people surrender to Krishna. They're not pure devotees, so you could say they're like neophytes.
तो 4 प्रकार के लोगों का वर्णन किया गया है जो भगवान को शरणागत होते हैं, और ये चारों जो है अर्थार्थी, ज्ञानी और जिज्ञासु, ये शुद्ध भक्त नहीं है, और आप समझ सकते हैं कि नए भक्ति के नए भक्त हैं ये.
So first of all, people come in distress. That's a very common reason for people coming to Krishna consciousness.
आजकल लोग बहुत स्ट्रेस में हैं, इसकी वजह से ये एक बहुत साधारण कारण है लोगों का भक्ति में आने के लिए.
Distress. They're really disturbed. They don't know what to do.
वो लोग बहुत परेशान हैं, वो नहीं जानते कि क्या करना चाहिए.
And so, especially when Srila Prabhupada was in the USA in the 1960s and 70s also, there were many people in distress.
खास तौर से तब जब श्रीला प्रभुपाद जी यूएसए में थे 1960s और 70s में, तो बहुत सारे लोग थे जो डिस्ट्रेस थे.
Young men were being recruited to the US Army, and they were being sent to fight in Vietnam, to fight a war which they didn't want to be involved in.
और युवाओं को, अमेरिकी युवाओं को जबरदस्ती फौज में भर्ती किया जाता था, और वियतनाम के विरुद्ध जो युद्ध था उसमें लड़ने के लिए बोला जाता था, जो वो बिल्कुल नहीं चाहते थे.
But they were forced. They would be, the government would track them down and arrest them and take them and they'd send them off to the army.
और लेकिन उनके लिए ये जबरदस्ती था, अगर वो नहीं करते थे तो उनको सरकार जो है वो पकड़ लेता था.
So young people who had no experience of warfare, they were being recruited, young men, and they were being sent to Vietnam to fight in the jungles and the forests of Vietnam against the Viet Cong.
तो उन युवा लोगों को जिनको युद्ध का बिल्कुल अनुभव नहीं था और ना ही उनको वियतनाम से युद्ध में कोई रुचि था, उनको जबरदस्ती वहां पर जंगलों में युद्ध करने के लिए भेज दिया जाता था.
So most of all the young men, they didn't want to go, and they'd run away and they'd try to hide, and the government would be tracking them down and arresting them and sending them off to Vietnam.
और वो लोग छुप जाते थे, वो लोग बिल्कुल नहीं लड़ना चाहते थे, लेकिन जो सरकार है वो उनको ढूंढ निकालते थे, उनको अरेस्ट कर लेते थे और इस तरह से जबरदस्ती करते थे उनको वहां जाने के लिए.
So many people were becoming devotees. They thought, if I become a devotee, can I avoid going to Vietnam?
तो कई लोग जो ऐसे थे जो सोच रहे थे कि अगर मैं भक्त बनूंगा तो शायद वियतनाम ना जाना पड़ेगा.
And one devotee describes that he was supposed to be recruited to the army, so he went for the interview, and he had a big Jagannath around his neck, a big Jagannath deity. He wore it around his neck, and he went for the interview because before they would put them in the army, they would first make sure they were okay, that they were not crazy.
तो एक भक्त अपने बारे में बताते हैं कि जब वो इंटरव्यू के लिए उनको बुलाया गया था फौज में जाने के लिए, तो वो अपने गले में एक भगवान जगन्नाथ के विग्रह को साथ में लटका के गए थे, और वो इंटरव्यू इसलिए लिया जाता था कि उनको देखा जाए कि लोग ठीक ठाक है ना, मतलब.
So this devotee had his Jagannath around his neck, so the interviewers looked and they asked him, "What's this thing around your neck?"
तो इंटरव्यूअर ने पूछा कि आपके गले में ये क्या है?
And I told him, "This is God."
बोला ये भगवान है.
So they said, "Okay, you don't need to go to Vietnam. It's all right."
तो उनको बोला कि आपको वियतनाम जाने की जरूरत नहीं है. फिर
So it must be crazy,
मूर्ख पागल आदमी है.
So like that people have different, so distress, and then some people in search of wealth, some people curious, and some people in search of knowledge.
और फिर बाकी ये तो थे डिस्ट्रेस वाले लोग, और उसके बाद कुछ लोग जो धन चाहते हैं या जो जिज्ञासु हैं या फिर जो ज्ञानी हैं, वो भी भगवान का शरण लेते हैं.
So Krishna reciprocates with them by sending the devotee to give them association, to encourage them.
तो भगवान उनसे रेसिप्रोकेट करते हैं, भक्तों को उनके जीवन में भेजते हैं और उनको भक्ति देते हैं.
Right. When we're very fortunate, then we contact we get the Bhakti Lata Beej.
हम लोग जब बहुत सौभाग्यशाली होते हैं तब हमें भक्ति लता बीज प्राप्त होता है.
And with the Bhakti Lata Beej, you can begin the path of devotion.
और जब हमें भक्ति लता बीज मिलता है तो वहाँ से हमारा भक्ति की शुरुआत होती है.
So Krishna arranges these things. He sends devotees for us to get association, to help us, and to encourage us.
तो भगवान ये सब व्यवस्था करते हैं कि भक्तों को हमारे जीवन में भेजते हैं, हमें मदद करते हैं और हमें उत्साहित करते हैं.
Okay, next question. How can we avoid limelight serving tendency? Limelight serving tendency. How to avoid the limelight serving in the limelight, the tendency to want to serve and be in the limelight.
तो भक्त ने प्रश्न पूछा है कि कैसे जब हम सेवा करते हैं तो हम कैसे उसमें बहुत आगे ना दिखें, ऐसा हमारा जो इच्छा है वो ना रहे आगे दिखने का, तो क्या करना चाहिए?
Well, being in the limelight, that's not as bad as being in the spotlight, right?
तो महाराज कह रहे हैं कि सामने रहना स्पॉटलाइट में रहने से की तरह खराब नहीं है.
I don't know. Serving in the limelight. The main thing is you want to serve. That whatever the consciousness is, whether you're in the spotlight or in the limelight or in the dark, the main thing is to be engaged in service.
तो महाराज बता रहे हैं कि सबसे मुख्य बात जो है कि हमें सेवा में हमें लगना है, चाहे हम लैम्पलाइट में हैं, चाहे स्पॉटलाइट में हैं, चाहे अंधकार में कर रहे हैं, लेकिन सेवा कर रहे हैं तो वो अच्छा है.
It's important that we're engaged, that we have some opportunity to engage ourselves in Krishna's service.
तो ये महत्वपूर्ण है कि हम किसी न किसी तरह से भगवान की सेवा में लगे हैं.
Next question. I don't feel to chant at all. What should I do? Oh, Krishna.
मेरा चैंटिंग करने का बिल्कुल भी मन नहीं करता है, तो क्या करना चाहिए?
What should you do? Huh? Well, you can come and live with Mahavishnu Swami.
आप महाविष्णु स्वामी महाराज के साथ रहना शुरू कर सकते हैं.
Mahavishnu Swami is always chanting the holy name.
महाविष्णु महाराज हर समय भगवान के नामों का चैंटिंग करते रहते.
If you come and live with him, I'm sure you'll like to chant.
और अगर आप उनके साथ रहेंगे तो मुझे पूरा पक्का विश्वास है कि आपको भी चैंटिंग करना अच्छा लगेगा.
So like I say, every association, you associate with somebody who chants and it will rub off on you.
तो जिस प्रकार के व्यक्ति के साथ भी हम संग करते हैं उसका कुछ गुण हमारे अंदर भी आ जाता है.
Mostly chanting, I am sleep. So what can I do so that I remove this habit?
तो ज्यादातर जब के समय मैं ज्यादातर सोता रहता हूँ, तो कैसे इससे बच सकते हैं?
Wake up.
उठ जाओ.
Right. Come in. One thing you can do, you can stand up and chant. You don't need to sit down, because you sit down, you can go to sleep easy.
तो जब आप बैठते हैं तो नींद आता है, तो अच्छा रहेगा कि आप उठ सकते हैं.
So what you can do is you stand up and you chant loudly.
और आप खड़े हो जाइए और आप जोर से चैंटिंग कर सकते हैं.
The louder chanting, more powerful it becomes.
जितना ज्यादा जोर से चैंटिंग होगा उतना ही ज्यादा शक्तिशाली होता है.
Haridas Thakur was criticized, or Kulavika Sridhar was criticized. Oh, you chant the holy name so loud. Where does it say in the scriptures that you have to chant so loud?
तो श्रीला हरिदास ठाकुर जी को और श्रीला कोलाविचा श्रीधर को उनका निंदा किया जाता था और उनको बोलते थे कि आप इतना जोर से जप करते हो, ये कौन से शास्त्र में लिखा है.
But Kulavika Sridhar knew there was a verse in the Srimad Bhagavatam which talks about the loud chanting of the holy name, how it delivers one.
कोलाविचा श्रीधर को लेकिन पता था श्रीमद् भागवतम से वो श्लोक जहाँ पर बताया है कि जोर से जप करने से हम जब मुक्त हो जाते हैं.
And if you're so sleepy, maybe you need to get more rest. Maybe you need to have rest. Once you have some rest, then you won't fall asleep.
और अगर आपको बहुत नींद आ रहा है तो शायद आपको कुछ आराम की जरूरत है, आप थोड़ा आराम कर लीजिए, फिर जब उठ के जप करेंगे तो शायद उतना नींद नहीं आएगा.
And Jiva Goswami recommends, it's also in Prabhupada's purport in the Srimad Bhagavatam, that when you chant, you should, if you're sitting, then sit straight, sit like a yogi.
शिला जीव गोस्वामी ऐसा बताते हैं और शिला प्रभुपाद जी भी श्रीमद् भागवतम के एक परपोर्ट में बोलते हैं कि जब आप जप करते हैं तो सीधा बैठना चाहिए एक योगी की तरह.
Right? The yogis will have the back, they'll sit up straight, and that way you won't fall asleep, because once the back bends, then the head goes down, and then you go down into sleep, into the ignorance.
तो हमें कमर सीधे रख के जप करना चाहिए, क्योंकि एक बार कमर झुकता है फिर सिर झुकता है और हम सो जाते हैं.
So it's important. Learn to sit properly.
तो ये महत्वपूर्ण है, हमें ठीक ढंग से बैठना सीखना चाहिए.
And sometimes you try to chant, you're chanting in a place maybe it's too hot or too stuffy, then you can it will make you fall asleep easy.
और अगर हमें स्थान भी देखना चाहिए, अगर हम ऐसे स्थान में जप कर रहे हैं जो वहाँ बहुत गर्म है या बहुत बिखरा हुआ है तो भी शायद हमें नींद आ जाएगा वहाँ पर.
And you can also go for a walk and chant at the same time.
और आप जप करते समय वॉक कर सकते हैं.
That's recommended. Baladeva Vidyabhusan said you can walk and chant the holy name.
श्रील बलदेव विद्याभूषण बताते हैं कि हम वॉक करते हुए जप कर सकते हैं.
And Srila Prabhupada used to walk every morning.
और श्रील प्रभुपाद जी भी वॉक करते थे हर सुबह को.
Often he was chanting japa. Sometimes he would talk also.
और ज्यादातर उस समय वो जप कर रहे होते थे और कुछ बार भक्तों से भी बात करते थे.
So when you really want to stay awake, then you do it.
जब आपका सच में इच्छा होगा तो आप उसको कर पाएंगे.
But if you're just happy to sleep, then you won't make any effort to stay awake.
लेकिन अगर आपको सोना ही होगा तो फिर आप कोई प्रयास नहीं करेंगे जगे रहने के लिए.
But if we really want to, sometimes you can even get some ice, put a lump of ice on your head or something.
लेकिन अगर आप सच में चाहते हैं तो कभी आप अपने सिर पे थोड़ा बर्फ भी रख सकते हैं.
Or drink some cold water.
या ठंडा पानी पी सकते हैं.
But we should know that sleeping is more the mode of ignorance.
लेकिन हमें पता होना चाहिए कि जो ये सोना है ये तमोगुण का लक्षण है.
So we want to overcome this habit. Yes, it takes some effort. You have to be determined.
तो हमें इसके ऊपर विजय प्राप्त करना है तो इसमें कुछ टाइम लगेगा और हमें उत्साह से लगे रहना चाहिए.
But we're given good instruction. We're told sit straight or stand up, chant loudly.
लेकिन कई सारी ऐसा प्रैक्टिकल इंस्ट्रक्शंस बताया गया है जो हम अभी कर सकते हैं.
Okay. All right. Next question. How to know when to apply which knowledge from the scriptures?
ये कैसे पता चलेगा कि शास्त्रों में से कौन सा ज्ञान जो है कहाँ पर लगाना चाहिए, कब लगाना चाहिए?
Well, you have to tell me which knowledge you're talking about, you know.
आपको बताना पड़ेगा कि कौन से ज्ञान की आप बात कर रहे हैं.
How to apply which knowledge from the scriptures. Just like controlling the mind. So, in the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna describes about controlling the mind in the 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita.
जैसे कि मन को नियंत्रित करना, तो भगवान कृष्ण भगवद गीता के 6ठे अध्याय में इसके बारे में चर्चा करते हैं.
It says, for one who has conquered the mind is the best of friends.
और बताते हैं कि जिसने मन पे विजय प्राप्त किया है, मन उसका सबसे अच्छा मित्र है.
And for one who has failed to do so, his very mind is the greatest enemy.
और जिसने जो उसको नहीं कर पाया, उसका मन उसका सबसे बड़ा शत्रु है.
And Lord Krishna also describes in the 2nd chapter, while contemplating the objects of the senses. In other words, while thinking about sense gratification in the mind, we become attached to it.
और भगवत गीता के दूसरे अध्याय में भी भगवान बताते हैं कि इंद्रिय भोग के विषयों पर चिंतन करना से भी हम उससे ज्यादा आकर्षित हो जाते हैं.
And from attachment, lust develops.
और उस आकर्षण से काम उत्पन्न होता है.
And then from lust comes anger, and then illusion, bewilderment of memory, intelligence is lost, and a person falls down again into the material pool.
और इस तरह से काम, उसके बाद क्रोध, और इस तरह से व्यक्ति जो है भौतिक स्थिति में पहुंच जाता है.
So this in relation to dealing with the mind, we have to understand when are we having problems with the mind.
तो इस तरह से मन के संबंध में हमें इस तरह से हम समझ सकते हैं कि कब हमारा मन हमें दिक्कत दे रहा है.
In other places in the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says a yogi should not eat too much or eat too little.
और दूसरी जगह पे भगवत गीता में बताया कि एक योगी को बहुत ज्यादा या बहुत कम नहीं खाना चाहिए.
Don't sleep too much, don't sleep too little.
बहुत ज्यादा नहीं सोना चाहिए, बहुत ज्यादा नहीं खाना चाहिए.
So there's different instructions given, and we have to consider which particular instructions are applicable in our situation.
तो ऐसे कई सारा निर्देश दिया गया है, तो हमें समझना होगा कि हमारी स्थिति में कौन सा चीज जो है उस समय हमारे लिए जरूरी है.
Are we struggling with our tongue? Do we overeat, or sometimes we even undereat?
और हम कई बार अपनी जीवा से परेशान हैं, कई बार हम बहुत ज्यादा खाते हैं और कई बार बिल्कुल नहीं खाते हैं, कम खाते हैं.
Or maybe with our sleeping, are we sleeping too much or too little?
या फिर सोने को लेकर के क्या हम बहुत ज्यादा सो रहे हैं या बहुत ही कम सोते हैं.
So there's a lot of practical instructions in the Bhagavad Gita.
तो भगवत गीता में बहुत सारा प्रैक्टिकल इंस्ट्रक्शंस दिया गया है.
We have to consider our own situation. Which instructions are going to be applicable for you in your situation?
तो हमें समझना होगा कि हमारी स्थिति में उसमें से कौन से निर्देश एप्लीकेबल हैं.
It's a very complex subject. When to apply what knowledge from the scriptures? Tell me what knowledge you want to use, and we'll think about how you can apply it.
तो ये बहुत कॉम्प्लेक्स सब्जेक्ट है कि कौन सा नॉलेज कहाँ लगाना. तो आप अगर बताएंगे कि किस नॉलेज की बात कर रहे हैं तो शायद उस पर हम बता पाएंगे.
Okay, next question. How can we ever live in the brahmachari ashram for a whole life?
पूरे जीवन भर ब्रह्मचारी आश्रम में बने रहने के लिए क्या करना होगा?
You're very lucky. Live in the brahmachari ashram your whole life.
अगर आप पूरे जीवन भर ब्रह्मचारी आश्रम में रहते हैं तो बहुत सौभाग्यशाली हैं.
We see in the other temples, older brahmacharis, they were living there their whole life, doing service in the temple.
क्या आप देखते हैं कि मंदिर में बहुत पुराने ब्रह्मचारी सेवा करते हैं लगातार? अंत तक
There's always some service to be done. You can always find something to do in the ashram, in a temple.
तो मंदिर में हर स्थिति में हर समय कुछ ना कुछ ऐसी सेवा होती है जो हम कर सकते हैं.
There was one man who lived. There was one devotee used to live in Vrindavan. His name was Vibhu Chaitanya. He was a very saintly person. When we opened the temple in Vrindavan, he became the cook.
तो वृंदावन में हिज ग्रेस विभू चैतन्य प्रभु जी थे, जो कि बहुत ही एक साधु व्यक्ति थे. और वो जब हमने वृंदावन मंदिर को खोला तो उस समय वहाँ पर वो एक रसोई में सेवा करते थे.
This is a very noisy place, huh? So Vibhu Chaitanya was taught by Prabhupada. He could cook every offering, every day, and he could chant his rounds as he cooked.
तो विभू चैतन्य प्रभु जी को श्रील प्रभुपाद जी ने बोला था कि वो सारे जो भगवान के लिए भोग बनता है बना सकते हैं और भोग बनाते हुए अपना जप कर सकते हैं.
And he did it for many years. And then finally, in his very old age, it was just not possible for him to do it anymore.
और उन्होंने ये बहुत लंबे समय तक ऐसे ही सेवा किया, लेकिन बाद में जब वो बहुत ज़्यादा वृद्ध हुए तब उनके लिए ये संभव नहीं था करना.
So he did another service. He would give charanamrita to people every day. He would sit and he would put one spoon, he'd put some drops of charanamrita in people's hands.
और जब वो रसोई में अपनी सेवा नहीं कर पा रहे थे वृद्ध अवस्था में, तो फिर उन्होंने चरणामृत देने की सेवा की और हर एक व्यक्ति के हाथ में वो थोड़ा सा चरणामृत देते थे.
And he did this up until he left the body.
और उन्होंने ये सेवा करते रहे जब तक उन्होंने शरीर नहीं त्याग दिया.
And we have his samadhi there in Vrindavan.
और वहाँ पर वृंदावन में उनकी समाधि है.
So he never took sannyas, but he was a very saintly devotee.
उन्होंने कभी संन्यास नहीं लिया, लेकिन वो बहुत ही साधु पुरुष थे.
And he lived in the ashram his whole life.
और वो अपने पूरे जीवन भर आश्रम में रहे.
So there are many examples of devotees who dedicate their whole life for the service of Krishna. It's very glorious.
तो ऐसे कई सारे उदाहरण हैं जिसमें भक्त अपना पूरा जीवन कृष्ण की सेवा में लगाते हैं और बहुत ग्लोरियस है.
But it's not compulsory. But brahmachari life is a good training for people, and if you're not comfortable living in the brahmachari ashram, then you can always move on into the grihastha ashram.
तो लेकिन ये कंपल्सरी नहीं है. ऐसा नहीं है कि ब्रह्मचारी आश्रम में हमेशा बने रहना कंपल्सरी है. अगर आपको ब्रह्मचारी आश्रम में रहने के बाद वो उतना उपयुक्त नहीं लग रहा है तो आप हमेशा गृहस्थ आश्रम में जा सकते हैं.
And grihastha ashram is not eternal. After being in grihastha ashram for some time, then you can move on into the vanaprastha ashram.
और गृहस्थ आश्रम भी सनातन नहीं है. गृहस्थ आश्रम में जाने के बाद फिर आप वानप्रस्थ आश्रम में जा सकते हैं कुछ समय बाद.
So the varnashram system is there. Not that everybody is expected to live in the brahmachari ashram, but brahmachari life is a good training. If somebody is trained nicely in the brahmachari ashram, then they can also be successful in their grihastha life.
तो ऐसा नहीं है कि हर एक व्यक्ति पूरा जीवन भर ब्रह्मचारी आश्रम में बना रह पाएगा, लेकिन ब्रह्मचारी आश्रम प्रशिक्षण की दृष्टि से बहुत अच्छा है. अगर कोई व्यक्ति ब्रह्मचारी आश्रम में अच्छे से करता है सेवा तो वो फिर अपना गृहस्थ आश्रम में भी अच्छे से कर पाता है.
Then the next question says, how I can take sannyas in this life only and return back to Godhead?
तो भक्त का प्रश्न है कि इस जीवन में ही मैं कैसे संन्यास ले सकता हूँ और भगवत धाम वापस जा सकता हूँ.
Well, sannyas is not compulsory either. You know, it's not for everyone.
तो संन्यास लेना भी कोई कंपलसरी नहीं है, ये हर एक के लिए नहीं है.
Sannyasis are meant to do propaganda work.
सन्यासी को प्रचार कार्य के लिए उनका सेवा होता है.
They're meant to go for preaching.
उनको प्रचार के लिए जाना होता है.
Meant to go out and preach the message of Krishna consciousness to different corners of the world and to develop centers and places where there is no Krishna consciousness.
तो उनको दुनिया के हर एक कोने में जाकर प्रचार करना होता है, वहाँ पर केंद्र खोलने होते हैं और खास तौर से जहाँ पर अभी कृष्ण भक्ति का प्रचार नहीं हुआ है.
Just like Srila Prabhupada went to America, didn't know anybody, and he didn't have any money, but he went to America to spread Krishna consciousness.
जैसे कि श्रील प्रभुपाद जी अमेरिका गए कृष्ण भावनामृत का प्रचार करने के लिए. वो किसी को जानते नहीं थे और उनके पास कोई धन नहीं था.
So nowadays also devotees who want to take sannyas, before they take sannyas, the sannyasi committee, they will send them to different parts of the world to help to develop Krishna consciousness.
और आज के समय में भी जो भक्त संन्यास लेना चाहते हैं, तो जो संन्यास की कमेटी है वो उन भक्तों को संन्यास लेने से पहले अलग अलग स्थानों पर भेजते हैं प्रचार की सेवा में सहयोग करने के लिए.
Some devotees go to Africa, different countries in Africa. We need to develop Krishna consciousness. So some devotees are sent over to Africa to do some preaching there.
तो कुछ भक्तों को अफ्रीका भेजा जाता है. कई ऐसी जगह हैं जहाँ पर हमें अभी प्रचार करना है, कुछ भक्तों को वहाँ भेजा जाता है.
Rukmini Krishna Prabhu from Delhi was telling me the sannyasi committee, they sent him to South America, and he was traveling in countries in South America where there's, very small communities of devotees.
तो हिज ग्रेस रुक्मिणी कृष्ण प्रभु जी मुझे बता रहे थे कि संन्यास कमेटी ने उन्हें साउथ अमेरिका भेजा है प्रचार वहाँ पर बढ़ाने के लिए. अभी वहाँ पर बहुत थोड़ी मात्रा में भक्त हैं.
So sannyas is meant for that kind of work.
तो संन्यास उस तरह के कार्य के लिए है.
So it's not everybody who likes or who's willing to do that kind of work.
तो हर कोई व्यक्ति ऐसा नहीं होता जो वो करना चाहता है.
Sannyas means a walking dead man.
सन्यासी का मतलब है चलता हुआ मृत व्यक्ति.
Means someone who has no material responsibilities.
मतलब जिसका कोई भौतिक जिम्मेवारी नहीं हो.
So it means to dedicate body, mind and words in the service of Lord Krishna.
इसका मतलब है शरीर, मन और शब्दों से हमेशा भगवान की सेवा ही करना.
You can read about the Brahmana from Avanti Desh in Srimad Bhagavatam.
आप श्रीमद् भागवतम में अवंती देश के ब्राह्मण के बारे में पढ़ सकते हो.
How this Brahmana, at one point he was a rich man, but then he lost everything and his family gave him up and he was left all alone. So he renounced. He decided he would renounce the world.
तो हम उसमें पढ़ते हैं कि कैसे वो अवंती ब्राह्मण एक समय में बहुत धनी व्यक्ति थे और बाद में उनका सारा धन खत्म हो गया और उनके परिवार ने उनको छोड़ दिया और उस समय वो.
So the Srimad Bhagavatam describes how he was treated. When he would go and beg, people would spit on him. People would be very nasty to him. They gave him really a hard time.
तो श्रीमद् भागवतम में बताया है कि जब वो लोगों से भिक्षा मांगने जाते थे तो लोग उनका बहुत उपहास करते थे, उनके ऊपर थूक फेंकते थे. बहुत मुश्किल था उनके लिए.
Just like Srila Prabhupada, when he first took sannyas, he was walking in the streets of Vrindavan and he got gored by a bull.
जैसे कि श्रील प्रभुपाद जी जब उन्होंने संन्यास लिया और वृंदावन की एक गली में चल रहे थे तो एक बैल ने उनको मारा.
Then he was thinking, he renounced everything, and then he got gored by a bull. He was in very difficult condition.
और श्रील प्रभुपाद जी उस समय सोच रहे थे कि उन्होंने सब कुछ त्याग दिया और अब उनको ये इस तरह से एक बैल ने मारा है. अब ये बहुत मुश्किल स्थिति में पड़ गया.
And then, of course, eventually he goes to America, and when he gets to America, he got tape recorders stolen, different possessions stolen.
और फिर शिला प्रभुपाद जी अमेरिका गए और जब अमेरिका गए तो वहाँ उनका टेप रिकॉर्डर और उनका अन्य चीजें वो सब चोरी हो गया.
They had to live in the homes of meat eaters.
उनको मांस खाने वाले लोगों के घर पे रहना पड़ा.
And one time he was even living with a drug addict.
और एक बार तो वो ड्रग एडिक्ट के साथ में रहने लगे.
So Prabhupada tolerated so many difficulties.
तो श्रील प्रभुपाद जी ने बहुत सारी मुश्किलों को सहन किया.
So that is sannyas life, to accept all of these difficulties for the service of Krishna.
तो ये है संन्यास का जीवन कि भगवान की सेवा के लिए इन सारी मुश्किलों को आमंत्रित करना.
So whether you accept sannyas physically, we will all have to take sannyas at some point in our life. If not physically, at least mentally.
तो हम सबको जीवन में एक ना एक समय में संन्यास लेना होगा. हो सकता है शरीर से नहीं तो लेकिन मन से. तो
We have to give up our attachment to this material world, and we have to give up the material body.
हमें इस भौतिक जगत से अपने सारे आकर्षण को खत्म करना पड़ेगा और ये शरीर को भी त्यागना पड़ेगा.
Srila Prabhupada gave everything away before he left the world.
श्रील प्रभुपाद जी ने सब कुछ त्याग दिया इस अपनी मृत्यु से पहले.
Right? We say in Hindi, I've come with nothing, kali hath ayate, kali hath chalo. So you're going to leave the world. Better to give it all away rather than have people take it from you once you die.
तो हमें सब कुछ त्यागना ही होगा. तो अच्छा है कि जीवित रहते सब कुछ दे दें, नहीं तो अन्यथा लोग उसको ले लेंगे बाद में भी.
Okay, so we'll stop here tonight, 6 o'clock. Time for Aarti. Srila Prabhupada ki.
So we want to thank Maharaj for kindly answering answers in a beautiful way by loudly chanting. His Holiness Srila Bhakti Vigna Vinashana Simha Swami Maharaj ki jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki. Gaur Bhakta-vrinda ki. Number 10.